Welcome to everybody that's joining us for today's presentation and live question and answer session. I'm just going to give it a couple more, maybe another minute here. The attendees are populating in, so just make sure everybody has a chance to get in, and then we'll begin the presentation. Okay, it looks like it's slowed up here. So I want to thank you all for joining us today for this online open house and question and answer session. During this session, MDT and the project team members are going to provide you an overview of each of these projects, and we're going to talk about the next steps in the project as well. This presentation shouldn't take more than probably 15 to 20 minutes, and then at the end, we will answer questions. In order to participate in the question and answer session, you will need to locate the Q&A button on the bottom of your screen. And that'll open up a little dialog box, a text box to type in your questions. And we will hold all of those questions till the end to answer them all together. So again, that Q&A button is at the bottom of your screen. Just type in your question at any time during the presentation, and we'll hold them all and answer at the end. So today's meeting is also going to be recorded, and a copy of the recording will be posted on the project website. I'd like to invite you to have your neighbors and coworkers and friends that couldn't attend today view the presentation, and they can provide comments or ask questions through the website there as well. The website address will show again at the end of the presentation. And then just again, welcome and thank you for joining us. My name is Brandon Coates with RBCI, and I'd like to turn it over now to the MDT District Administrator from the Butte District, Bill Fogarty.
Thank you, Brandon. As Brandon mentioned, my name is Bill Fogarty. I work out of the Butte office. I'm MDT's Butte District Administrator. Thanks. First off, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us this afternoon, and especially during your noon hour. Before we dive too deep into the details of these projects, I would like to take a moment to discuss Vision Zero. The goal of Vision Zero is to eliminate deaths and serious injuries on Montana's roadways. Public safety is a top priority for MDT and its contractors. The Montana Department of Transportation asks that drivers plan extra time when traveling Highway 43 this construction season. Our friends and family members are working in those construction zones, and we want them to return home safely each night, and everyone traveling Highway 43 to arrive at their destination safely. The state of Montana has seen an increase in highway fatalities in 2021. As of April 1st, last Thursday, there have been 50 roadway fatalities. That is 22 more fatalities than there were at this point in 2020. There have been 67% or 20 more fatalities in 2021 than the current 5-year average. Since the COVID-19 pandemic began in March of 2020, speed, distracted driving, and lack of seatbelt use have been among leading factors attributed to severe crashes. MDT asks that you utilize travel planning tools such as the interactive travel info map available at mdt.mt.gov before taking to the road. Brandon will discuss these tools in more detail later in the presentation. And now I'll introduce each of the project team members participating in the open house. We'll start with Gino Leva.
Good afternoon. So my name's Gino Leva. I'm the Butte District Construction Engineer.
Thanks, Gino. Jeff Harrison.
Thanks, Bill. This is Jeff Harrison. I'm the engineering project manager. I'll be out on site on this project.
Thanks, Jeff. Dave Cunningham.
Thanks, Bill. I'm Dave Cunningham, and I am the District Construction Operations Engineer.
Thanks, Dave. Tyrell Murfitt.
Thank you, Bill. My name is Tyrell Murfitt. I work out of the road design office in Helena, and I was the design project manager for Wisdom West.
Thanks, Tyrell. Tyler Steffen.
Hey everyone, my name is Tyler Steffen. I work at MDT in the Bridge Bureau, and I was the project manager for the Trail Creek Structures project during the design phase of the project.
Thanks, Tyler. Kevin Muller.
Thanks, Bill. I'm Kevin Muller, and I'm the Butte District Road Design Supervisor, and I will be talking about the Wisdom North and the Wise River Northwest projects.
Thank you, Kevin. Ron Bacon.
Thanks, Bill. Ron Bacon. I'm the maintenance section supervisor for the Wisdom area.
Thanks, Ron. Jim Holland. You're muted, Jim. All right, we'll skip down one here. Jim Holland is our maintenance section supervisor out of Divide. John Williams.
Hey, yes, this is John Williams with Schellinger Construction. I'm the construction engineer.
Thanks, John. I see also on the computer, it's not on my list, Mark Sear. Go ahead, Mark.
Yeah, Mark Sear with Schellinger Construction. I'll be assisting John and helping him through the project.
Perfect. Thanks, Mark. And we've met Brandon Coates, been introduced. Also from RBCI, we have Kate Reed.
Hello, I'm going to be helping out with the Q&A section today. Thank you.
Thanks, Kate. And also Andy Barnesness with RBCI.
Thanks, Bill. I'll also be working public relations for the projects and helping out with the Q&A.
Perfect. Well, thanks, everyone. With that, I will hand the baton to MDT's Butte District Construction Engineer, Gino Leva.
Thanks, Bill. Good afternoon, everybody. So with this corridor, we have 4 projects located between Chief Joseph Pass and Wise River on Highway 43. And these 4 projects will be constructed this summer. The first 2 projects that I'll talk about are the Trail Creek Bridges project and the Wisdom West project. So these 2 projects we've tied, meaning we'll have one prime contractor building both projects. The next 2 projects that we'll discuss today, the Wisdom North project and the Wise River Northwest project, and we'll also tie these 2 projects. We tie these projects based on letting date, location, and type of work. And tying these projects allows us to be more efficient and the construction being potentially more cost effective. Next slide, please. So the Trail Creek Bridges and the Wisdom West projects are currently under contract. These projects will be constructed starting later this month, and we expect to finish them this fall. The Wisdom North and Wise River Northwest projects will be let next week, and we anticipate that these projects will start in June and will also be completed this fall. That's all I have for now. Thank you, and I'd like to hand it off to Tyler Steffen.
Thanks, Gino. And just again to reiterate, my name is Tyler Steffen. I work in the Bridge Bureau with MDT in the Helena office. The Trail Creek Structures project, just a general overview of the project. The bulk of the work is we're going to end up replacing 2 bridges over Trail Creek near the May Creek campground. Road work at the bridge ends and guardrail upgrades will also be part of the project, and we're going to put a larger culvert in at Canyon Creek to facilitate some of the road overtopping issues that we had there. Next slide. The existing bridges that are over Trail Creek right now were built by the Forest Service around 1961-ish, kind of in that general era. Both of the existing bridges are about 28 feet wide by 60 foot long, and they have piers in the middle of the active channel. Our plan with the replacement structures is that we're going to provide a slightly wider roadway width of about 28 feet, 8 inches around that area, and they're about 10 feet longer for a total structural length of about 70 feet. Both of these new bridges will clear span Trail Creek, and we're essentially going to eliminate the piers from the active channel. Soil lifts and topsoil will also be placed over the bridge riprap and rock to blend in with the native channel bank vegetation a little bit better. Road work at the bridge ends, some minor guardrail upgrades, and a larger diameter culvert at Canyon Creek are also included with the project. The bridges themselves, we're going to utilize accelerated construction methods for the project to try to minimize our impacts to the traveling public. And by that, we're going to be prefabricating most of our bridge elements. So they'll basically show up already on site, and then we'll just end up kind of erecting them and then doing some closure pours on them. And that construction for the two bridges is set up right now for 2 weekday road closures. And those are basically the way that those are set up is they're gonna be chosen by the contractor, and they're gonna be start at 5 a.m. on a Monday, and they'll end at 5 a.m. on Friday of that same week. So it's essentially 4 days to replace an entire structure. So we're trying to kind of limit our impacts on those sections of roadway. That's pretty much the overview of this project. And with that, I will hand it over to Tyrell Murfitt to give you a quick overview of the Wisdom West project.
Thank you, Tyler. So again, my name is Tyrell Murfitt. I'm in road design out of Helena. And the Wisdom West project starts on the western end about the Bitterroot Big Hole Road intersection with Montana 43. Project's about 19 miles long and proceeds to the east and pretty much ends right at Wisdom. We do include the bridge over the Big Hole River. We're doing a little bit of work to that structure, but that's about where this project terminates. Next slide, please. So this project includes resurfacing the top 2.4 inches of pavement. So you'll end up with new asphalt or new surfacing when the project's done. It'll also include a chip seal over the top of that process. We're going to improve the surfaces on several pullouts, so we're going to end up using some millings and chip seal over those. They'll be much better than the standard or the dirt that's out there right now. Project will also include some guardrail upgrades. The current guardrail doesn't meet standards, so we're going to replace everything within that on the project. At the Ruby Creek Bridge, there's some excavation plan to address some deteriorated pavement. So again, we're just trying to smooth out the ride there. There's another location on the project where we're going to do some work in the ditch. This is to address some drainage. There's some subsurface drainage issues at that location, and this should increase the pavement longevity. Let's see. And finally, it's going to include some signage and pavement markings, as well as some limited bridge repair work and some railer upgrades on the other structures that are within the confines of the project. So, and with that, I'm going to turn it over to Kevin Miller.
I'm sorry about that. I was muted. Thank you, Tyrell. I am Kevin Muller. I'm the Butte District Road Design Supervisor, and I have two projects that I'm going to discuss with you today. The first one is Wisdom North. This project is located on Montana 43 and begins near the junction with Secondary 278 in Wisdom. The project proceeds through the town of Wisdom, continuing north about 16 miles to the County Line Bridge over the Big Hole River. The project will mill and replace approximately 2.5 inches of the existing pavement. The project will include a chip seal, centerline rumble strips, signing, and new pavement markings. This project is tied with the Wisdom North or the Wise River Northwest project, and a contractor will be selected for these projects on April 15th of 2021. Next, I will be discussing the Wise River Northwest project. This project is located on Montana 43 and begins near the Sportsman's Campground. The project proceeds southeast approximately 14 miles through Wise River and ends at the curb and gutter on the east of town. The project will place a chip seal on top of the existing pavement, and the project will also include guardrail upgrades, spot fencing improvements, asphalt repairs, and new pavement markings. Again, this project is tied with the Wisdom North, and a contractor will be selected on April 15th, 2021. And with that, I will turn over to Jeff Harrison.
Thanks, Kevin. Hi, everybody. I'm Jeff Harrison. I'm the engineering project manager out of the Butte District. I'll be overseeing all these projects. During construction, MDT aims to minimize inconvenience to the traveling public, but there will be some lane closures and brief 10 to 15 minute delays. So take that into consideration when you're planning your travel. Local access will be maintained throughout construction on all these projects. We'll do our best to try and get in and do our construction and get out. Both of the bridge replacement closures but near May Creek are anticipated to last 4 weekdays, and they will take place in mid to late July. The May Creek campground will be closed during these road closures, but through the rest of the construction, it will be open. We will continue to update the public on traffic information throughout construction. Next slide, please, Brandon. Next, I'm going to discuss the need for the closures and the advantages of the accelerated bridge construction. We've used this method in the past with very good results and good reception from the public. The bridge replacement timeframes are reduced to a matter of days rather than months. This reduces delays and inconvenience to the public. Accelerated bridge construction is accomplished using fast-track construction methods and the installation of prefabricated bridges. This helps reduce the construction footprint and the impact to the surrounding landscape. Next slide, please, Brandon. Next, I'm going to discuss some alternate routes that will need to be utilized during the closures. We're going to place informational signing at key intersections throughout the area, notifying travelers of the closures and the need to take alternate routes. The first route is Interstate 90 to Missoula, and then down Highway 93 through the Bitterroot Valley. The second route is head down Interstate 15 to Clark Canyon Reservoir, and then proceed west on Highway 324 over Lemhi Pass and through Leadore and Salmon. One thing to note that this second route does have approximately 16 miles of gravel roadway. Next slide, please, Brandon. The roadway and bridge improvement work plans to start in April and will continue through the fall of 2021. During the closures, MDT plans to work closely with local emergency services, the U.S. Forest Service, U.S. Postal Service, and the county. And as traffic control plans and updates to construction occur, MDT will continue to share this information with everybody involved throughout construction. So with that, I'm going to turn it over to Brandon Coates with RBCI.
Thank you, Jeff. Yeah, again, my name is Brandon Coates and I'm with RBCI. We're working with MDT to do the public outreach during construction of all of these projects. So you'll be hopefully hearing from me and RBCI quite a bit during construction. We, communication about the construction and the road closures is a priority for MDT. And there are several ways that several methods we put into place to keep you informed during construction. Some of those are including mailers, which hopefully some of you received in order to find out about this meeting today. The news media, social media, email, text messages, and then updates to the project website. Right now, for signing up for construction updates, you can text WHY43 to this 1-866 number. It's a toll-free number, and that'll sign you up to get text updates. And we know there's limited cell service up in the valley there. So there's also email updates. If you text the HWY43 to 22828, it'll sign you up for an email update. We'll send that information out, especially at key construction milestones when traffic patterns might be changing significantly, or ahead of the closures and when they're back open and that kind of information. We also have a project hotline set up that you can call to get a recording of the information or to leave a message, and we'll get back to you to answer any questions you might have as well. The other method that Bill had mentioned earlier is going to MDT's travel info app and website. And you can do that by visiting the Road Report website, or by dialing 511 on a phone. And here's an example of what that looks like, that app. When you go to MDT, you go to MDT's page, click on Traveler Info. It'll take you to the page. You can toggle construction on and off, and it'll show you the locations. There's other features like toggling on where the rest areas are, and even a little bit of weather information. So this is a good tool for checking out current construction information, and also for routes around that you might be taking. It'll pop up a construction info, and you can read what the restrictions might be and what to anticipate ahead of time. And likewise for visiting Idaho, if you're going to use the route through Leadore, the Idaho Transportation Department has a 511.idaho.gov website, and you can click on the website to go to their traveler information app and see what kind of construction you can expect on their roads as well. So those are two really good tools to use for planning your route, and they will be updated throughout construction as things change. So now I'd just like, again, to thank you all for participating in today's meeting. And again, if you have any friends or neighbors that weren't able to participate, you can direct them to the project website. It can be found at mdt.mt.gov/pubinvolve/HWY43. From that website, they will be able to access the public involvement page and view the presentation. We plan to have the presentation up by Thursday, and so they can view the recording and also participate in the question or ask questions there too. We have another presentation tonight at 5 o'clock. So if they wanted to join us then, that's open as well. So the next thing we'd like to do is to start the question and answers. And again, if you locate that Q&A button on your bottom bar and pop that up, and you have any questions, please feel free to start typing those in now. And as they come in, we will begin answering. So we don't have any questions currently, so I'll give it a few minutes, see if we get some, and then we'll answer those. I'd like to also remind you all that you can get a hold of me at any time with questions, even if they come in after the meeting. We will respond to your questions and get those answered. So my email is Brandon, BRANDON @rbci.net. You can email me, or you can give me a call. My direct line is 406-465-3350. And I will be happy to take your questions and get the appropriate responses to you and get those answered. So looks like some questions are coming in now. So
Brandon, I'll just read them and then have the MDT guys jump in on the answering the question if that works. So our first question is from Mandy, and it has, when will the dates of the bridge replacements be confirmed?
Jeff, is that a question you might be able to answer?
Yeah, I can answer that question, Brandon. It's looking basically for the last 2 weeks in July is where we're looking at right now, Mandy. But if things change, we'll update you and let you know.
Perfect. Thank you, Jeff. And it looks like Tyrell is going to give Jason a call about the ditch excavation and the Wisdom West project.
And Kate, to add on to the response for Mandy, I'll be in communication with you as we get closer to the dates, getting everything firmed up, and we'll be sure to be in touch well ahead of that time. Also wanted to reach out to you about your notifications and your website and that as well. So I'll be giving you a call here soon. And then as we get closer to the dates that it's confirmed for the closures on that, I'll definitely be in touch.
Great. Thank you, Brandon. And I think, Jason, it sounds like Tyrell's going to be in contact with you. So, and Mandy said thank you.
We'll keep the Q&A open here for a couple more minutes, give you some time to ask your questions. And again, for those of you that are on the phone, calling in, please feel free to reach out to me with your questions. Again, that's brandon@rbci.net, or you can call me at 465-3350. My information is also on the project website, along with a way to ask questions through the website directly, but my email is probably the easiest and quickest way to do that. So.
Brandon, this is Bill. I'll add one thing if you're okay while we're waiting for other questions.
You bet, Bill.
That is, there's a fifth project on Highway 43, as if 4 weren't enough. That's essentially between Wise River and Divide, so farther east. And that's a guardrail replacement project. That was a separate contract. It's not covered under this public involvement effort. That was let previously. It does have a notice to proceed date in early August 2nd of this year. The contractor can choose to start earlier than that date, but no later than. And what we know right now is that that contractor does plan on starting earlier. However, there hasn't been a date confirmed. So there will be some guardrail replacement going on between Wise River and Divide, and that will also, because of the curvature, alignment, sight distance, so forth, narrowness of the road, that you would expect single lane closures with alternating one-way traffic. So Just want to give folks a heads up, that is not included in the maps or in this public information effort.
And it looks like we haven't had any other questions come in. So again, like Bill said, there's a lot of work this summer on 43. And I'm going to be our BCIR team is going to be the easiest initial contact for any of your questions there. And then we'll be sure to be communicating when construction's beginning, what to expect. Signing up for those emails is a great way to get that information. Text as well if you can receive them. And then our project website always will also have the updates and the Travel Info MDT app, which you can download to a smartphone as well to have on the go. So and with that, not seeing any other questions, again, want to thank you all for joining us today, and have a great rest of your afternoon.